Hey everybody. All right, we're going to know Eigrp now. All right, we've done RIP in combination with static routes and default routes. And now we're going to go on to a advanced distance vector routing protocol. All right, which is still distance vector nonetheless. There's two ways of configuring, it's more like three ways of configuring Eigrp. All right, whether you do it globally or you can do it under the interface as well for IPv4 and obviously IPv6. We're going to do a very basic configuration of Eigrp, but what you need to understand is that Eigrp is, you need to pay attention to the autonomous system, all right? Eigrp has 65,535 autonomous systems, which leads you to believe they have multiple Eigrp autonomous systems out there in the real world, which is true, okay? But for our purposes and for certification purposes, single autonomous system, especially for Network Plus or CCNA, even hell, to a certain degree, CCNP is single autonomous system. With the Eigrp, we still need to type in the no auto summary because it will summarize by default regardless. And when I said that there are two ways of configuring Eigrp, let me open up a notepad here. You can configure, doing Eigrp, you go router, Eigrp, and then the autonomous system, let's just call it 100. So you can do network, the classful boundary, right? Network, example, classful boundary, 172.16, right? And network, 192.168, the classful boundary. You still need to put in no auto summary. Oh, I thought I was in the CLI. No summary. You still need to do it that way. That's one way of configuring it, okay? People say, well, I use in the real world, I use wildcard masking. Do you now? So what they're saying is, here, let me just, I don't want to type all this again. Let's break this down. Let's put it right here. So people they don't want to do this, they want to do this. 1.1.4000. There's a wildcard mask, right? So let's say they'll put in, I don't know, 32.0, and the wildcard mask is 00015.255. And here, we'll just use that. Well, the actual network, let's make the actual network Cisco's favorite. So this will be 000.15. Okay, so this will be the second network in the 16, whatever. So you can do this. And they say, well, that's it, that's all I need to do. No. If you don't, it all depends on your iOS. I believe if it's before iOS 15, you have to turn on auto summary, or you have to turn off, I'm sorry. You have to turn off auto summary by doing the no auto summary command. Because if you don't, and I'll show you, you type a command, all right? Very common command, we'll be using it a lot for IP protocols, which tells you that the auto summarization feature is off. That's the reason, okay? That's what you need to look at. So I don't care if you do it this way. If you don't type this, you're in a world of hurt. Whether you do it this way or you do it this way. All right? If you don't type this, you're in a world of hurt. Unless you have the latest and greatest iOS, then you're good to go. But again, CCNA, it used to be, I don't know now, it used to be where the CCNA, you configure it like this, CCNP, you configure it like this. All right, because they want you to do it a real world type of way, okay? But regardless of the matter, I'll show you why in the show IP protocols. And I'll configure it both ways. But this is your basic configuration of Eigrp. I used to tell everybody, hey, CCNA, Network Plus, CCNP and above, okay? But we'll do it both ways. Over here, we have the 10.1.1.4 right here, 10.1.1.4. Can't freaking do it because I don't have a labeling. 10.1.1.4, 10.1.1.8, 10.1.1.12, 10.1.1.16. The mask is a CIDR 30. The mask is a CIDR 30. We'll take a look at the IP addresses now. So in router 1, show IP route. Let's take a look at that. There we go. So you can see there we're in the 4 network with a CIDR 30. Okay, and we're also in the 16 network with a CIDR 30. Another command you can do is show protocols. Oop, one too many O's. Show protocols. There you go. So in protocols, it tells you, hey, there you go. Here's your IP address, which is the 4 network, and this is the 16 network. And here's your loopback. We have a 192.168 1.0 network as well, but it's a loopback address. Everybody has a loopback. So router 1, it has a 192.168.1.1. Router 2, 2.2. Router 3, 3.3. Router 4, 4.4. Okay. All right, and then let's go to router 2 real quick. So you get the idea, okay? Show protocols, let's do that one. All right, so here you see 10.1.1.9. This is going this way, which is the 10.1.1.8 network. And then you have the 10.1.1.6 going back, and you got the 2.1. So it goes around. It goes around. On the left, you got the 4 top, you got the 8 right, you got the 12 bottom, you got the 16, plus the loopbacks. Cool. So let's start doing Eigrp, shall we? Let's do it the first way, the very simple way that I showed you, what people are used to doing. So you go router, Eigrp, and again, it's up to you. Now, you can do named Eigrp. I'll do another lab later on that. But right now, we can go ahead and do a numbered Eigrp. There's different things that you can do with named Eigrp, but we're going to be doing numbered Eigrp right now. So we're going to just choose a number in between that range. I'm going to pick 100 like I did in the example. And then I'm going to advertise the classful boundary. So in this router right here, I have network, net, 10.1.1.4, right? I have also network 10.1.1.16, which is this right here. And I also have network 192.168.1.0, right? And I'm going to do a no auto summary. Do WR. All right, so the reason for that is show IP protocols, automatic summarization disabled. All right, here it says automatic summarization is disabled. Now, this is a higher iOS, I believe. So in the next router, I'm not going to type an auto summary. We'll take a look at it. But this is a command in Sharpie protocols that I was telling you about, where in the packet tray it would say the auto summarization feature is disabled. Here it just says automatic summarization disabled. Cool. Different iOS, different ways that they put it. No big deal. The Sharpie protocols is important because there you go. What autonomous system you're running? 100. Okay. Importante, K values in Eigrp. Bandwidth and delay are the ones that are bandwidth and delay. These are important. We'll talk about this later on. Okay. But for now, you need to pay attention to these K values. That's very important. This was used. Your router ID, it shows it by default for IPv4. Okay. 192.168.1.1, highest IP address. You see that internal Eigrp is 90, external Eigrp is 170. What else? We're pretty good here. Maximum path is 4. Maximum hop count is 100. Really? Maximum hop count is 100 by default. Okay, by default. By default, the maximum hop count is 100. The maximum true hop count is 255. Okay? All right. So that's this one. So let's go bring this down. Let's go to router 2. Okay, click on the little command prompt there. All right, so what I'm going to do is now configure it the other way with a wildcard mask, and I'm not going to type an auto summary, and then let's do the Sharpie protocols command. We're going to do router, Eigrp, has to be the same, 100, single autonomous system. All right, network, I'm still in the 10.1.1.4. Oops. All right, come on. 0.0.0.15. Oh, nope. 3. What am I talking about? And then, there you go. We build an adjacency. All right. We're going to up arrow. And we're going to come over here and say 8. That's the one going across. Okay. And then 192.168.2.0.000.255. Cool. I'm not going to do no auto summary. We want to see what happens. Show IP protocols. All right, you see how automatic summarization is disabled? That's the key feature right there. So I really, in this iOS, I don't have to type no auto summary, all right, because it's already disabled. So it all depends on your iOS. It all depends on your iOS, okay, that you have. So I don't have to, since this is disabled, because that's the whole point, that right there. If this is disabled, we're good to go. So I don't really need to type it in this iOS. If it's an iOS that's older than 15, then yes, you need to type no auto summary for distance vector routing protocols. Now, one thing I want to take a look, because you see I typed in the, I'm routing for these networks, and these are the masks, okay? But if we were to look at the start, show start, Right, show start, hit space, let's go all the way to the bottom. That's where it's at. You see it has it right there with a wildcard mask, right? Now in this one over here in the bottom, where I did the classful boundary, but auto summarization is disabled by default in this operating system. So, or in this iOS, which is the operating system anyway. But let's see what it says here. And you can see it has the classful boundary. It has the classful boundary because that's what I put, and I put no auto summary. All right, but it still summarized it there. And then on the top, when I use the wildcard masking, it doesn't matter. So here, well, we saw it was disabled, did we? Show IP protocols. Yep, automatic summarization is disabled. This is crucial that you need to pay attention to. That's the whole point about no auto summary. All right, let's continue. So, but you see the difference, right? Since I did the classful boundary, there's 10, and then it's not going to show 10.114, 10.118. Here, I did do the whole thing. I'm not going to do that. I don't need to. All right, enable, config T, router, Eigrp 100, network, 10.000, and then we go network, let's see, still building adjacency, network 192.168.3.0, enter, and it's a muscle memory, don't worry, I still want to type it, it's muscle memory. You don't have to in this iOS. Why? Because we saw show IP protocols, we saw the feature summarization is disabled by default. And I don't trust the simulators. So let's see when we look at our routing table. Router, Eigrp 100. That's what's cool about simulators or emulators, whatever you want to call it. You run into issues and then you fix it, and that's how you learn. Network, again, 10.000, classful boundary. Network 192.168.3.0. Enter. Auto summary, do WR. All right, so that's saving. Let's go to router 1 and let's take a look at our routing table. IP route. Cool. We got the letter D. So we're learning about the 8 network. So we're on router 1. We're learning about the 8 network, which is up here. We're learning about the 12 network, which is over here. And the 192.168.2.0 and 3.0. But what I don't see is the 4.0. I don't see the 4.0. Did I advertise the 4.0? Oh, look what I did here. Advertise the 3 again. So that's an issue right there. You see that? So in here, I'm going to say no net 192.168.3.0. Take that out and say net 192.168.4.0 and hit enter. UWR. So I wasn't getting an update for the 4.0 network, right? 192.168.4.0, which is on router 4, is a loopback. I wasn't getting that information. So I took out the 3.0 because that's what I typed mistakenly. And then we should see it now in this particular router. So let's hit enter. Let's remove all this trash. Show IP route. Space. There's our 4.0 network. We're learning about the 4.0. We're learning about the 3.0. We're learning about the 2.0. Awesome. We're learning about the 12. And we're learning about the 8. That's cool, but that's not good enough for me. So I'm going to ping. So I'm going to ping this side. This is 10. This is the 8. So this is 10.1.1.10. 10.1.1.10. I can ping. This is the 12 network. I'm going to ping 14. Up arrow. Ping 14. And then I'm going to ping this guy over here. Just for giggles. This is 18. Cool. So I can ping all the way around. I have that. But that's a simple configuration with Eigrp. But let me tell you right now, the NARC, which is advanced routing, it's all about troubleshooting. So these things come up in the troubleshooting tickets that they have in that book, where why aren't you getting, like what I just did? I looked at my routing table, right, by typing show IP route, and I saw before I wasn't getting an update from the 4.0. How do you fix that? Why is that happening? You're getting updates from everywhere else, but you're not getting an update from this router. Well, then the issue's over here. You got to come to this router, take a look at your show IP protocols. You can do it that way, show IP protocols. And it'll tell you what your routing which networks you're routing for. So in this case, the 10.0.0 encompasses these two, and the 192.168, which is the loopback. So you do the show IP protocols, and it tells you you're routing for these particular networks. The command show IP protocols is crucial. All right, it shows you a lot of information. But with Eigrp, it gets more complex. In another lab, one of the things we'll be talking about is show IP Eigrp topology. Okay, and this is a topology table that Eigrp builds, which is crucial, and we'll break it down in another video. But this is what you want to see, all P's. And this is important because this guaranteed will be in any Network Plus, CCNA, hell, A+. No, I don't think A+ will do that. But Network Plus and CCNA and CCNP will ask you about the topology table. So this is also, you need to understand how to look at this. Eigrp, it's all about, because it's an advanced distance vector routing protocol, it does pay attention to the bandwidth and delay and the load and reliability of the lines. All right, so it's a lot better obviously than RIP, okay, but it's Cisco proprietary. Only Cisco routers can use this. They tried to open it up in 2013, I think it was, failed. So only Cisco routers use this particular routing protocol. But again, mid-sized companies, okay? So that's a basic configuration of Eigrp. You can do it classful boundaries or wildcard masking. Just remember, distance vector routing protocols, if it's before iOS 15, you must type no auto summary. And the way you can look at that is just go to your show IP protocols and look for this particular feature. I'll let you go with this, show IP protocols. You got to make sure that automatic summarization is disabled. If it is disabled, then you don't got to worry about it. If it's not disabled, if it says enabled, then you need to type no auto summary. See you in the next one.